Right, I've now aligned all of the vertex points to the walls as much as I'm going to for this tutorial. So you can see from the white points, if I zoom in again, you can see here they're all roughly in line with the walls. It's exactly what we want. So if I come right out and show you. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take this layout and we're going to extrude it up in height. So I'm going to unselect the editable spline. It's a good idea to have this on the perspective viewpoint, so views, perspective, and zoom out a bit, because then you get a good idea about how high the wall's going to be. So in the modify list, if we select extrude, there we go, you can see that our lines for the layouts have now become polygons, and just by increasing the amounts we can decide how high we want these walls to be. I'm going to set it about 160 roughly. You can set yours exactly how high you need it. I'm going to turn on the edged faces. Now the reason I turn on the edged faces is because I've got an extra step to add some polygons to make the tops of the door frames. And if I increase the segments, you can see we now have a white line down the middle of the walls. I'm going to take these, I'm going to just raise them up nearer the top of the door frames, and that will allow me to join across the top of the door frames to make these bits where the doors are going to go. So I'm going to add a edit poly modifier and change the viewport to front, zoom out a bit, and we're going to take all of these vertices in the middle and we're going to move them all straight up near the top. That's the perspective view, and we can see what we've done there. So you can see now we have these points that we can now use to join across the tops of the doors. So by selecting the polygon, if I zoom in and select that polygon there and that polygon there, you can see I now have both of them selected. And what we're going to do is we're going to join this polygon here to that polygon there. We'll use Max's bridge tool. So if I click on the bridge settings, you can see it's automatically created it using the default settings, which is use polygon selection, one segment, no taper, no bias, and smooth 45%. All of that's done. So OK that, deselect it. There we now have a nice top of a door. You can do multiple door tops at once. A nice shell now. I'm just going to holding down Control, clicking on all of the door tops. If you miss any, it doesn't matter, you can just come back and select them later. Right, I think that's pretty much the last one there. And click on the bridge button, and there you go. We now have tops for all our doors. So one quick scan around, make sure I've not missed any. Nope. Lovely. Right, so deselect polygon. You can see now that we're almost there. The thing that's missing, unless it's underground, is windows. So if you're going to want windows in your scene, you're going to need to do it. There's a number of ways you can do it. I'm going to do it quickly. I'm going to use the Boolean. The problem with using the Boolean is it can create long polygons, and especially for games, anything like that, you might find this can be an issue. And in that case, you'd probably want to have increased the amount of vertices that you have in a line along long walls, such as this one here. But for this quick tutorial, we won't worry about long polygons for now. We'll just have a go at popping the windows in. So in the Create panel, under Geometry, we're going to create a box. Now I want to build it on this wall, so I'm going to use the Auto Grid, and I'm going to build it directly on this wall. I'm going to have two windows on this wall. and I'm going to click and start there, and you can see the auto grid in action, making the box directly on the wall. I'm going to have that sticking out quite a large amount, and I'm going to move this box to there. Now I'm going to make all of the boxes where I want the walls to be, so I'm going to create another one by cloning, and this will be a copy. And to clone, I held down the shift key and just moved the box. If you're unsure, there is a video in my area about cloning and copying, instancing, referencing, which you can see here. So I won't explain too much. If you do want to go over that kind of thing, then have a look at that video. Now, so I have two boxes that I'm going to use as windows. Just want to move this box slightly over a little bit. Now, I'm going to create a boolean. So if I select my wall object, and where is standard primitives, compound objects, we'll go for pro boolean, and the pro boolean will take the walls, and it will use these boxes to cut holes in the actual walls ready for the windows. And we use this by clicking on the start picking button and just clicking on the boxes. There you go, 2 windows all ready. Click on the start picking option again, because I don't want to continue picking until I've made some more boxes. So back to standard primitives, let's create some long and thin windows here. So just making sure it's intersecting right through the wall. I think we'll have a row of windows there. That one's come out a little bit close, so control click on all of them and just drag it over so they're more in the middle of the wall. There we go. What I'll do is I'll take one of these ones, I'll clone that one, rotate it around, I'll use the angle snap and rotate it 90 degrees. There we go. Let's pop this through this wall here and we'll just have 3 on this wall. Quite a lot of windows in this one. And what we'll do is we'll take all of these ones and we'll clone them along to this wall as well. Now, I'm going to borrow this box, clone it right over to here, but I'm going to make this one a bit wider. So you can see I'm just making lots of windows. We're looking for a 90 degree rotation there. Almost done. Last one. All done. So we now have quite a few windows ready for this. So selecting our walls object, start picking, selecting each of the boxes, and we're done. We now have nice areas ready for our windows to be put in. That didn't take too long. So that's how you'd actually extrude your floor plan.